trade promotion organization or trade support institutions in general. In a recent, there have been a number of studies that have looked at what is the impact of trade support institutions and trade promotion organizations. One of these, and all of them coincide that $1 or 1 yen or 1 Canadian dollar or Australian dollar or one unit of currency invested in a trade promotion organization can yield around 40 to 42 to $27 of additional exports for that country. These were studies done by the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank in the case of Latin American and other countries, and of Canada in its own trade promotion organization. And we are going to undertake also in ITC with the European Trade Promotion Organization Network a study to analyze the specific multiplier effect of trade promotion organizations in Europe. This is a study that we are going to start in October of this year, and we hope to have ready during the first half of next year. So trade support institutions and trade promotion organizations have a big impact on the economy of their own countries. And that's why ITC wants to work with them, because you are very strong multipliers of trade in the world. Next, please. How do we help, or how do we try to help trade support institutions in the case of improving their performance? Because if they are good, if they perform better, obviously their multiplier effect will be higher. They will be more effective in multiplying the exports and the investments in their own countries. We basically, no, please, yes. We based our support on good practices. We look at the good practices around the world. We collect those good practices. We establish benchmarks. We establish case studies, and we try to share those with the different organizations. And that's part of our role in helping. That's the way we do. We connect good practitioners with those that may have a need in that particular area. But our approach is first by doing a thorough initial assessment of what are the needs of each trade promotion organization. Each organization has its own strengths, its own weaknesses, and we look thoroughly at them through what we have developed and called the benchmarking model of assessment that I will be explaining later on. We don't want to just have isolated interventions, you know, one training here, one seminar there, but we want to look at the organization as a whole and try to provide integrated solutions, because sometimes weaknesses in one area are connected with weaknesses in other areas, and therefore we need to look at the organization as a whole and to look at the integrity of the organization to see where are those areas that need first to be improved, and later on to address the other areas that depend on that. We look also at having a long-term engagement with trade support institutions, not to have isolated engagement, but to have more of a long-term plan and a long-term working plan with the organization in which we are partners and we are looking at improving performance. And finally, and last but not least, we strongly focus on measuring results or on measuring impact, because we strongly believe that by measuring impact, not only the organization can get a lot of advantages, a lot of visibility and credibility, but also through measuring its own results, the organization is able to improve its performance, because it is an it is a way to analyze where are the problems of the organization, which areas of the organizations are not performing well, and where to start adjusting the bolts. Next, please. Yes, please, go on. We start, as I said, we start by assessing the organization, and we do it through what we call the benchmarking program, or through what we call also an institutional mapping. These are two methodologies that we have developed. One of them, the benchmarking, looks at the organization inside in detail, and I will explain later on how the model works. And the other one is what we call the institutional mapping. The organizations don't work by itself. They work within a map of different institutions that support trade. And from that point of view, we'll also look at what do the other institutions that are in support of trade do in the country, so as to see where there are possibilities of collaboration, or where there are areas where there are duplications and there has to be better coordination, and also where there are areas of gaps where companies are requesting certain services and nobody is providing them. So this is the first part where we do an assessment. The next one is where we go into improving, and that's what we call this project AIM. A for assessment, I for improving, and M for measuring. In the improvement part, we also have a number of methodological tools that we have developed. Some of them in improving the strategy, the governance, and the direction of the organization, developing their service portfolio, which is one of the things that are most demanded, how to manage better the resources and the processes of the organization, how to network and how to organize business generation activities. Also, we have a very successful program of and training program in foreign trade representatives. That's also something that is quite demanded for many organizations. And finally, obviously, we are developing a lot of expertise on how to measure results in trade promotion organizations. And this is something that we are working very well. And as I mentioned, last January, we did a seminar of 2 days with the European TPO network precisely on this subject, and we are now developing a virtual seminar or a virtual course with the Inter-American Development Bank that will be developed for Spanish-speaking countries in Latin America. And we will take that virtual or e-learning modules to our own website later on in Spanish, in English and French as well. So finally, next, as I said, the last part of our program is to measure results, or to establish with the organization result measurement systems that could serve better that organization. Of course, we look at the needs and the circumstances of each of the organization to adjust the result measurement system to their resources and to their possibilities and their objectives. As I mentioned, we try with this, and you see that arrow that says M1 to M2. That means that we try with these actions, with this program, to lift the maturity or the performance of the organization from a lower level to a higher level of performance. And we are already working with some organizations, some of them like in Sri Lanka, the Export Development Board is here present, and we have already started with them in that program. Next, please. Next. Let me explain a little bit what we call our benchmarking program. This is a very successful program that we have developed in partnership with 6 organizations during 2011. Matrade was one of those organizations that helped us develop the program. And Austrade was another of the organizations that helped us develop the program in the pilot phase in 2011. And we have been implementing fully this benchmarking program in 2012, 2013, and this year. within this program, with benchmarking, we have already benchmarked 33 organizations. Some of them in Asia, like in Pakistan, TDAP, Viettrade, of course I mentioned Matrade, and the Export Development Board as well, CASNEX in Central Asia. We have been very encouraged by the results. The benchmarking is, we have a model to assess the organization that has 225 indicators of performance. This looks threatening, but I can assure you that the process is very easy and very quickly done in less than a week of work of our experts. And we look at 4 main areas of the organization. We look at the leadership and direction, we look at the resources and processes, we look at products and services of the organization, and finally, again, to the measurement system. That is very important. And as I said, we concentrate on comparing the practice of the organization to good practices. We don't determine what the organization should do, but we concentrate on the processes, on how the organization should do things. It has worked for a very wide range of organizations, and we have with this program, we check the consistency within the organization and what are the needs that have the weaknesses that have a spillover effect over other areas of the organization. Next. This map shows you the organizations we have been working with. As you can see, in Asia, in Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, Northern Africa, in Europe, and also in Central South America and the Caribbean. So we've been covering a wide range of organizations in our work. Next. What have been the... Yes, again, please. Next. No, next. That's it. We have, as I said, benchmarked already 33 organizations. 85% of all participants have been very, very happy with, or they have rated as this work as highly relevant and in relation to their activities. 90% of the organizations that we work with rated our professional capacity of our experts as very good to excellent. We had 86% rate very good or excellent the usefulness of the report that they get in order to improve their operations. And 100% of the organizations we have worked with have said that they would recommend this to other organizations. So as you can see, we have been quite successful in implementing this work. Next. Please keep going. I will skip this because I already explained this. We have created a specific web platform that is called tsibenchmarking.org, and in here this is a platform that all your organizations can subscribe and you can use. We have developed not only the assisted assessment, benchmarking assessment that I just explained, but also there is a self-assessment that you can get in and do it yourselves. Of course, it's not the same thing, because obviously it's, one thing is to assess yourselves, and another thing is that somebody objectively comes from outside and assesses your organization. But it could be a good start, a good initial start to look at what are the important things that should be looked at in the performance of your organization. In this platform, we also offer case studies and information on how to improve the performance of your organization. You can find there, for instance, all the presentations of the result measurement seminar that we did with Europe in January this year, and all types of information that will be interesting for improving the performance of your own organizations. Next. So what can our organization and in particular our service in ITC can do for you? Well, first, we could offer also to ATPF to conduct the same type of seminar that we did for Europe on result measurement. That caught a lot of interest in Europe, and it was very well received and very successful. As a result of that seminar, that's why the European TPO requested us to coordinate a European-wide impact assessment study. We can also provide you access to tsibenchmarking.org platform, and you only have to write us, and we will send you passwords and so on, so you can get into all the access all the possibilities of the platform. You can also work, we have developed in ITC a number of e-learning modules. We have developed an e-learning module on that is on introducing what a TPO does, that of course all of you don't need, but maybe newcomers in your organization, you know, may be useful for induction programs in your own organization. We have e-learning modules on other aspects of managing the organization, like we have also developed an e-learning module on how to conduct B2B programs, and also a module on foreign trade representatives. And soon, as I said, we will also hang in ITC e-learning platform modules on how to measure results in trade promotion organization. Of course, ITC can be a source of contacts and exchange of good practices. As we know more and more organizations, we know what are the strengths in certain organizations, and in some cases we are able to organize contacts and study tours. For instance, we are looking at, for example, helping a trade promotion organization of a small country in the Caribbean to visit Costa Rica, that has Procomer, one of the best trade promotion, most performant trade promotion organizations, so they can go and they can learn how the organization is run, how is their result measurement system, how do they run their portfolio of services, and so on. So we can also facilitate this kind of contacts between the TPOs. Of course, we can do the benchmarking, as I mentioned before, and we can provide support to establish better performance improvement programs in your organization, or to establish performance evaluation systems. And I would like to add probably what I mentioned before. We will analyze how we can also help in this question of disseminating good practices in those organizations that have merged both trade promotion and investment promotion, and we will look at this as it has been quite evident that this is a new area that attracts a lot of attention in ATPF. Next. Finally, I would like to mention that in our World Trade Promotion Organization conference that we organize in association with Dubai Exports. This conference will take place from 3 to 5 of November in Dubai, and this is the World Trade Promotion Conference and Awards, where we also grant awards to the best performing trade promotion organizations that have applied for the awards. The last edition of the TPO Network conference was in Malaysia, in Madrid. Madrid was our host. This time we do it every 2 years. This time we're doing it in Dubai. And of course, we're also looking at countries or TPOs who would like to host the next edition in 2016. We do it every 2 years. So if any of your organizations is interested in hosting this World Trade Promotion Organization, more or less at this same time of the year, October, November in 2016, we would be very, very happy to work with you. And biddings will have to be done during pretty soon, and you can do it through our website. With this, I thank you very much for your attention, and of course, I'm at your disposal for any question or any additional support. I will ask to distribute some brochures on the World Trade Promotion Conference, so you can also have additional information on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for ITC for a very good introduction about the ITC activities. And by the way, MNCCI is very long-term partner of ITC since 1990, and many TPOs are benefiting from ITC's activities. Now with this, thanking again, and now we would like to move to more technical questions, issues. And now I would like to invite Mr. Egodej Chris Bandula, Chairman and Chief Executive, Sri Lanka Export Development Board. Please. Introduction to 2015 ATPF CO meeting.
Thank you once again, distinguished guest. This more than the presentation, is just an invitation. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me express my gratitude and also wishes to the great hospitality given so far for our entire delegation by Mongolian Chamber and Commerce. So I think the entire organization, along with the President, deserve a big applause from the audience to facilitate that facility. Because now we are going to talk about 2015, so it's my duty to start in that way. Of course, not forgetting JETRO. Chairman is also with us. JETRO, of course, particularly in Sri Lanka, we have a very good mutual, strong relation with JETRO Sri Lanka. 1 week back, Honorable Prime Minister visited Sri Lanka. Actually, we were really busy with that visit also, along with the JETRO. And he participated for Business Forum and also Women Entrepreneurs Exhibition. That shows the interest from the top, as shown globally, that how important trade is to the globe. Again, just to mention, 2015 is a good decision that we made taking to Sri Lanka. Currently, all Sri Lankan economic indicators are doing very well. GDP growth, exports, and bilateral trade, everything is booming. And of course, export also, we are taking the support of ITZ. In fact, you did mention that ITZ we are using as a SWOT analysis. You know, the SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. All these things we can rely on ITZ analysis, so we are doing that also. We are on the right track. And ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lankan export development area, we have developed as a country, infrastructure development, regulatory red tapes have removed, simple taxation policy introduced, and free port concept we have introduced, hub concept we have introduced in Sri Lanka, and we introduced the knowledge-based economic parameters in Sri Lanka. So I think you can experience that part as well in 2015 when you are coming to Sri Lanka. And energy, we have introduced renewable energy sources also into the industry development. So ladies and gentlemen, all that I'm trying to say is 2015, you have decided to have it in Sri Lanka. I think it's a good decision. Yes. Let me go through logistics quickly. It's not a presentation. Dates are in basically 25th to 27th August. Don't know whether I can have it in parliamentary session, but parliamentary building, but I'm sure that we can have it in a good place in Colombo vicinity. Already you all have agreed to have the the theme, integrating Asia with global value chain. Proposed program may be, the next slide, 3-day program. Expect participation of all ATF countries solicited. Participation of high-level dignitaries to express to be arranged the inaugural session that what you have done. Cultural show displaying Sri Lanka's culture or field visits. And we are still not finalized the whole program, but with the support of JETRO and their input, we might have some interactive session in terms of way of presentations. I mean, not from the PowerPoint, maybe it's on the discussion sort of a way to get more attraction and more interactive sessions during that day. Okay, we are talking about arrival to Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 international airports, but we request you to come to Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunayake, because our trade promotion, our forum is going to be in capital city of Sri Lanka is Colombo. It's 90 minutes, 30 minutes, or not even 30 minutes, or 15 minutes through our highway to Katunayake Expressway. Sri Lanka Export Development Board will coordinate the transportation to hotel and arrival guests. All this, the hospitality will be done by Sri Lanka Export Development Board with the support of JETRO Sri Lanka. Obtaining visas is very easy. It's a ETA facility available at the following website. I have given the website, but we will get in touch with you online. If you really require any support for visa, and Sri Lanka Export Development will be most happy to answer all your requirements. Accommodation, there are many hotels available in Colombo City, 5-star hotels. So we will give you the whatever the details of hotel list in the future. Transport and all other logistical arrangements will be done by Export Development Board along with JETRO Colombo. We have currently organized a working committee there along with JETRO and Export Development Board. We will open up a full-time working office 3 months prior to the event, the secretariat. Then we are moving to August. Yeah. Why we selected August is basically it's a fixed month. In Sri Lanka, there is no season. But the unique version of globe, I must say the unique little version of India. Except snow, we have everything. So Sri Lanka, there is no variation of our climate. Colombo goes 23 to 30 the max. And within 2 hours time, you can explore cool climate. Whatever the things that you want to explore, basically heritage, culture, climates, beaches, hill country, nature and wildlife. You can explore everything within 2 hours. So it's a little version of globe and little version of India. My humble comment, those who have visited Sri Lanka 4 years back, it is not the same Sri Lanka that you have visited. Those who have not visited Sri Lanka, it will be a unique experience for you. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years before, we didn't have one highway. 4 years before, we didn't have any, other than one airport, we didn't have any other international airports. 4 years before, we didn't have any international ports other than the domestic and one port. So it has a tremendous boom happening there. So I think you can experience all these things. And also, yes, I just put few pictures for you to see. This is named as UNESCO 8th World Heritage Site of Sri Lanka. So ancient city of Sigiriya is a kingdom. Those days is made out in rock. Islands of Sri Lanka, you can see forest, and Anuradhapura is the culture. So we are making a proposed field visit, the world's biggest cultural pageant taking place in August in Sri Lanka during that time. That is why we have selected. It's about over 100 odd elephants are taking place with their dresses, traditional dresses. So those are the highlights. Goal, ancient city of Polonnaruwa. Then we can see other attraction also I have mentioned. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. This is the profession I'm talking about. So you can see a little bit of a glimpse of that. Next slide. These information will be sent to you, all email addresses, but actually my colleagues, two of my colleagues, they have participated for 2 preparatory meetings prior. So then they are working on that already, they have arranged everything. It's a matter of, dialogue with you all. So finally, very warmly and very respectfully, very kindly inviting you for Sri Lanka hosting next ATPF CEO meeting 2015. Of course, you can experience Sri Lankan hospitality, and another point is smile. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sri Lanka, for a wonderful presentation. Now I would like to invite next presentation, Mr. Nasir Hamid, Director General, Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, 2016 ATPF CEO meeting announcement. Please.
Honorable Chair and respected participant, we presented our candidature for hosting the 2016 ATPF CEOs meeting, and I believe it's accepted, or the chairman would like to ask the members first. So then, would you like to ask the members to vote, or I deem it as accepted? Yeah, Chairman, I'm asking about our candidature. Would you like to ask the members to vote, or should I deem it as accepted, that it has been accepted?
I think the proposal by the representative Pakistan is it's up to all the participants. But for myself, I would like to welcome your proposal. How about the others? Okay. Okay. So please, hands, we accept. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and respected participants. You have provided TDAP this opportunity to host 29th CEO meeting in 2016. Though the final details will be coming up later, in the next working level meeting, I'll be making a presentation on how we'll go about it. And in the next CEO's meeting, the complete arrangements and complete details will be provided. But we have already worked on it. We will be, most probably, we'll be coinciding it with our largest event. It's called Expo Pakistan, and it's being held every year in October. It's like in-trade, in the event organized by Martrade. And I believe a few of the members are already aware of that event, like Martrade, JETRO, Japan delegation. Last time we had a 42-member delegation from Japan. So these organizations of fellow TPOs not only have been participating in that event as exhibitors, but have been, we do have buyers missions from these member countries. Last time we had trade delegations or buyer missions from about 63 countries visiting our expo, and the total number of the visitors was about 1,000 from around the world. So we were thinking that we will be organizing this CEO's meeting coinciding with the expo, so that all the respectable delegates, not only after having the meeting, they can interact with the buyers from around the world and can visit the exposition as well. From airport to airport, I mean, organizing such events is not an issue. That's our job. That's what we have been doing at TDAP. Either it's a meeting, conference, or or an event or trade exhibition or exposition. So we'll be looking forward for you. I will be working closely. We have a JETRO office, rather our office and JETRO's office is in the same building in Karachi. We'll be closely working with the ATPF Secretariat. We will be looking forward for any recommendations from your side, from all the members and from the Secretariat regarding the meeting. If you want to give any input, my email address is there. Immediately after going back, I will designate a team to work on the meeting even from now, and that will be notified to the ATPF Secretariat, the people who will be working for the meeting, and their contacts and email addresses will be communicated to all the fellow members. Once again, thank you for providing us this opportunity. My Chief Executive Officer was very much willing to come here, but Madam Rita will endorse me that we are having a very large event in India, which was inaugurated yesterday. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole of my organization is there, along with my CEO, so that's why he was not able to make it. But, I mean, he asked me to mention it during the meeting and pay his regards to everybody. At the end, I will also like to thank JETRO and MNCCI for organizing this very fruitful meeting in an excellent manner. Arrangements and hospitality is really wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for all three presentations. Now, do you have some questions? I guess not. Now, with this, I would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me the floor in this very late in the afternoon. I just would like to have a very quick comments on the presentation by our colleagues, Mr. Brunello from ITC. And thank you very much for your presentation, which is quite clear and interesting. And first of all, I would like to acknowledge our highest appreciation to the support from ITC to our organization in doing the benchmarking. And just would like to share with you that this is the ever first time in our organization history that we implement such kind of system of assessing the trade promotion organization in the local areas. Then a lot of new experience that we learned from that. It's not really a command, but just a wish that we would like to seek your consideration if ITC can also help us to do things and do things with us. As you mentioned, about 226 indicators that really are challenging. So we would be happy if you can help us to simplify it and make it a little bit more localized, so it's suitable to the system, and we wish to use it for the long term. It's not that we have to come back to you all the time, but that is really a good system. And secondly, we'll be happy to receive your sharing about the best practice of TPO. Also, to do things with us, as you mentioned in your presentation about e-learning topics and lessons, and we will be happy to cooperate with ITC to do the learning, to the training activities for our TPO capacity building, and also to do the training and support activities, having your expert to Vietnam to help with our enterprises to do the trade promotion activities. And with that, I also would like to highly appreciate the initiative from our JETRO and MNCC to invite ITC representatives as a representative of a global TPO network. So if possible, we would be very much appreciate continuing participation from ITC in our meetings. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The first day is going to finalize. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ishige to make concluding remark of first day.
First day.
Yes.
the first day meeting was very, very productive. And when I arrived at this city yesterday evening, I didn't expect such a productive outcome would be able to would be would be made. But this is a really good result. And based on this, tomorrow morning we will discuss and deepen the discussion that we had. And this is, I think this is just a restart of our forum. You know, as I said in my speech, 27 years ago, this forum was established mainly for, creating the closer relationship. But it's time for us to produce something tangible, which would be highly appreciated by the policy makers of each government. That is what I want to say at this moment. Thank you very much for attending this meeting. Thank you very much for various good comments to this meeting. That's what I want to say at this moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I think 70 or maybe 60% of the job is done. Now tomorrow we have also 40% needed to finish. Now I just invite Ms. Soyun Chimik to make some technical announcement.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the announcement about the tomorrow's program. We have the slight change because of some other obligations. The visit to the State Great Hural meeting with the Speaker of the State Great Hural was postponed until 11:30, so we will start in the morning 9 o'clock, like today, our conclusion session. So after that, this session will be until 11:20, and the only head of representatives from each TPO will have the meeting with Speaker of Great Hural, and the rest of the delegation will leave to the hotel. So it means departure time from hotel, it would be the same, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for your understanding, and I wish you good evening. And thank you for your active participation.
And the Speaker of the Parliament is my new boss. So say very good things about me tomorrow.
So in the morning when we will arrive from the hotel, the coffee and tea will be served here. Yeah. Session in the same, this hall tomorrow morning starts 9 o'clock.
7 o'clock we have
Gala dinner.
gala dinner and very good cultural show, and I will perform there.
Okay, thank you.